Hi there, this is Steve Miley, the Market Chartist on behalf of ForexTraders.com, and we're now going to take a look at the US dollar versus both the yen and the Canadian dollar. So dollar yen have exhibited a far more positive tone, with dollar CAD a far more negative tone in here. Canadian dollar benefiting of late from a more hawkish central bank, and also the fact that the oil price has seen a significant rebound despite the very more recent setback. But the rebound in the oil price and a more hawkish central bank pointing to a stronger Canadian dollar versus the US dollar. Here we see US dollar yen, however, US dollar yen strengthening. So US dollar weakening throughout June and July versus most G10 currencies. However, strengthening against the yen as we have a perception of hawkish central bankers globally, but not from Japan, and also a perception of a more of a risk-on scenario in here. Central bankers confident that the global economy is recovering, so we go to more of a risk-on scenario. That risk-on scenario meaning we don't need the safe haven, so the yen getting sold in here. So dollar yen rallying. So you can see this strong push up we've had in here from June, particularly the more recent push in here, late June, early July, up through 112.13, setting up a broader range here between 114.37 and 108.89, with real risk to the upper end of that range to challenge up here to 114.37, through which would see a bigger bullish shift in here. If we go to the daily chart, you'll see that better. The push through 112.13, neutralizing bearish pressures, and real threat for a challenge up towards 114.13. Conversely, in here, if we look at dollar CAD in here, selling off already through May, but a more accelerated push lower in mid-June and then late June, primarily driven in here by the central bank shifting to its tone to certainly more hawkish. That more hawkish tone, alongside the more recent rebound that we've seen in the oil price in here, allowing the Canadian dollars to strengthen. That's dollar versus the US dollar versus the Canadian dollar, then lower, strengthening Canadian dollar. Importantly, we took out the low for the year, 129.65, and that leaves threat in here lower for these lower targets, with a 128 and 127, even 126 big figures in here down into July. This has been Steve Miley, the Market Chartist, on behalf of ForexTraders.com, and I wish you a great trading week.